Of the 600 seconds of trading. It's 9 a.m. in London, where I'm based, and my name is Alejandro Zambrano, Chief Market Strategist with Amana Capital, TradeCaptain.com. Welcome to our website and welcome to today's morning update. As you know, at 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, we'll provide you guys with a quick update on the main markets. I'm gonna, in the next minute or two, take a look at the Eurodollar, Bitcoin, crude oil prices, the DAX, and the price of gold. So that's what we're going to be doing. But before we start, as always, I need to stress that trading financial markets is unfortunately risky, and there's a genuine risk that we'll lose all of our invested money, if not more, because people usually trade with leverage. So please bear that in mind. And don't forget to check out the risk disclosure down here. You click on it and it will load on your end. If you're watching us via YouTube or Periscope, then don't forget to write down the name TradeCaptain.com, and don't forget to come to the live trading room where we're conducting this morning webinar. It's not always that we actually go live on Periscope, so don't forget to come and visit us here Monday to Friday if you would like to partake in this morning update. Let's begin. And we'll begin with the euro versus the USD. So this is the 1 hour chart, and you can see here how the euro has been gaining versus the dollar over the last few days. You have a low here on November 7th, and then you have another low here on November 21st. And because of this series of higher and higher lows, I am anticipating the market to bounce and create a new higher low between 118.50 and 117.33. And we said that pretty much from 118.50 the market is probably going to look to go long. We saw a nice reaction here a few days ago on the 28th, and then yesterday we saw a nice reaction here, and as you can see here, it's really trying to bottom out, and now it's pushing to the downside again, and it could potentially take out these lows and go down to 118, but as I just said, around these levels I anticipate the Eurodollar to bottom out and then head to the upside and potentially reach 119.61, which is this high here created on November 27th. Here's the price of Bitcoin, and a market that pretty much everybody's following nowadays. So yesterday you said look for a pullback, and the market of course decided to rally ahead without actually pulling back, and I think it's just because we're in this phase of the market where everybody's just going crazy about bitcoins and just buying, because in general, it doesn't really matter where you buy. Eventually the coin goes up if you have a long investment horizon. However, though, what we're trying to do here is to make things in a slightly more clever way. So as an example, we decided to go long here at pretty much 7,900, and then we did highlight a few ideas when we were trading down here, and as well we did highlight ideas to go long at 3,500. So we tried to go long on these dips because these dips happen, and that is really what I'm working with or anticipating right now. So what can I say about this? Fib wise, take the low to the high, and you can see we corrected down to the third fib, and this level is pretty much the 95.54 level, and I suspect that the market could potentially move to these levels again, and again from these levels potentially the market is going to look to get involved. From a risk to reward ratio perspective, we're looking at a potential risk here of 16% versus a potential return of 21% if we just go back to the prior high. And that's like a key thing that I use when trading or investing in general, is that your potential reward should be the same as your risk, if not higher. So this is my outlook for Bitcoin. I don't want to buy it here. I want to buy it on a dip here from 93.54, and as long as you trade above this low here, I'm gonna remain bullish. And this level here is pretty much the 7,777 level. Here is the price of crude oil. The overall market is bullish, and I would like to see this move up higher. Is bullish, as you can see, price creating higher and higher and higher lows. In the short term, the market is correcting. It's capped by 58.31. But this is the zone where I anticipate this market to bounce. So I suspect it could bounce from these levels, as I said a few days ago, and I think we just need to give it time to move to the upside. So my outlook for West Texas crude oil is to be bullish about 56, and I suspect the market is going to try to bottom out at current levels and then eventually head up higher. Here's the price of gold, and as you know, it's a very unreliable price action we've seen lately. It is guided by this big picture uptrend, and now is the possibility to trade with this rising uptrend. However, though, I'm not a big fan of what's going on with the price action here. So as you know, over the last few weeks, I've been ignoring this market. But if you want to get involved with this softly rising uptrend or mild uptrend, then I think this is the time. I think between 1280 and 1273, this market is going to try to bottom out. So here we have a risk of $9, and if it goes up to the upside, we could potentially make $17, which again is a very good risk to reward ratio. Here's the DAX 30. So it's looking really good for us here. As you might remember, we turned bullish, and the idea is just to be bullish from about actually, no, this is correct. Actually, the first entry was a little bit lower, but the last outlook was that turn bullish from 13,075. As you can see here, the market, it's not been easy, right? It went to our favor, and then it went down, and then it went up, and then it went down, and then it went up, and then it went down again. But this trade is back and positive, is heading towards the high. This is the season to actually be buying stock markets. As you probably heard about it in the past, the expression sell in May and go away. Well, now it's actually time to get involved again. So November, December, January, February, March, and then it's time to exit again. So this is really usually the best times to get involved. So I anticipate this to move to the upside, take out this high, and eventually go up. And as long as it's about 12,901, I'm gonna remain bullish and anticipate this to head to the upside. So that, guys, we just watched all the major markets here. Today we have a special webinar, and it's gonna start at 9:45. So in about 35 minutes from now. It's a special webinar when we're going to take a look at the Eurozone inflation report, which is published 10 a.m. today, London time. So what we're going to take a look at the euro dollar and the euro pound. We're going to see how these two currencies are reacting on the inflation report. And the reason why this is interesting is because the inflation report has a strong influence on the outlook for the ECB and interest rates in the Eurozone. So that is why we're watching this, because we could potentially have some interesting ideas there. If you want to join this webinar, you would need to become a member of Trade Captain. It's all free. You just need to register. So first name, last name, phone number, email, country, and then you need to put in this little captcha. It's not sensitive for case sensitive, so DUWMA would be this one, and just put it here. If you're on a different system, or when you do it, it's probably going to be something different, but try 2-3 times if you have problems. With this live webinar, by the way, we're actually introducing a series. So if you sign in once, you'll have access to all these different webinars. So on Friday, we're going to take a look at the Canadian non-farm payrolls. So we're going to see if we can do something with those numbers, see how the Canadian dollar reacts. On Tuesday next week, we're going to take a look at the US ISM non-manufacturing composite, which tends to explain, a majority of the economic growth in the US. Obviously, that moves the dollar. And then on Wednesday, we're going to take a look at the US ADP report. We're not doing the non-farm payrolls this month or the coming month, and the reason for that, I'm going to be in China. But we're going to cover all of these different markets. We're going to cover more things. So if you sign up once, you have access to all these different sessions where we provide you guys with live technical analysis. And I'm going to have my Bloomberg platform here as well. So I'm going to get the information out before you'll see it on a calendar, and definitely before you see it on calendars on other services. So check that out. As well, if you're new to trading, don't forget to practice on a demo. If you click up here, we will know that you found the Amana Capital demo from tradecaptain.com. So if you're new to trading or you just want to try us out, click here on this banner up here, and you'll be able to download the demo. Guys, have a great day. A little bit more than 600 seconds have passed, so thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Don't forget to share. Thanks.